guys, Preacher 357 here, back out here on the range again with a gun I've been wanting to get for a while, the Taurus G3C. I had the G3, which is the larger version of this, basically sort of a full size, though you could compare it to a Glock 19, so maybe you call it a compact, and this is a subcompact, but this is really larger than the Glock subcompact, the Model 26. It's more kind of in between the two, so you know the Taurus doesn't match up exactly with some of the other brands with the way they do their sizes, but I've got the G3C here, a gun that's been around for a long time now in one iteration or another. It started out as the PT-111 series and then went to the PT-111 G2, then became the G2C, and now it's the G3C. And there have been some changes made to it, but it's basically the same platform. And you can't fault Taurus for sticking with it because it's been one of their most reliable guns they have released, and one that is well thought of, and not just by consumers, but even industry experts. There's been a lot of them that have raved about this gun, about how reliable it is and how durable it has been and how well it's held up. And Taurus had a winner when they came out with this version. And so now we have the G3C, with there's a few changes made, and we'll go over a little bit of that as well. The G3C here differs from the G2C in one, it's got a different trigger, different contour on the trigger. This looks a lot more like some of the other offerings on the market, the way the trigger is designed, the ergonomics of it. The original PT-111 and G2C triggers was kind of a strange contour, kind of a strange design to it. Looked weird. Some people didn't like it, and so they went to something it's not really a flat face trigger, but it's much more like what you would see on a lot of the different offerings from their competition. The other thing that they have done is that they have changed the sights, and they've changed the sights to a Glock compatible sight. Now that is of benefit because that means that you can find a lot of aftermarket support, because Glock is the most popular gun pretty much, or has been over the last 20 years. It may not be at the moment, but historically it has been, and there's more aftermarket support pretty much for the Glocks than for any other gun. And so making it Glock compatible was a pretty good move on their part. However, one thing that did change is the G2C had adjustable sights. Now they were proprietary. You had to have Taurus sights to fit on there, but they did adjust. You could make the adjustments. So as you saw when I was shooting there at the beginning of the video and trying to get an idea of where it was hitting, trying to get a feel for the gun, because those were the first shots I'd put through it, that it was hitting a little bit low and to the left for the most part, though I was pulling a few here and there, as I wasn't really used to the gun yet. But with the G2C, I could adjust the sights to make it dead on, and I can't do that with this gun. Now I can drift this rear sight with a punch to try to move it left and right, but it's not easily done, and it can't be dialed in as easily in the same way that you can with adjustable sights. So that's the downside to it. There's pluses and minuses, but all in all, it's very much the same sort of gun. And I've been wanting to get it out here on the range for a while, and in fact I've had this gun for over a week, and today is the first day I've shot it. And if anybody that knows me knows that I'm not one to wait to play with my toys. Usually as soon as I get home, I've got to get them out and shoot them, but just a lot of stuff going on. Was out of town for a few days, a lot of rain. I was sick for several days this week, and still just barely over that. And so maybe part of my inability to shoot may be a little bit that I'm still not over that sickness. I'm not 100%. So anyway, that's just an excuse I thought I'd come up with, because that way if I don't shoot very well, I can blame it on that. But it comes with two 12-round magazines, just like they did before. Now you can buy extended magazines, and there's different things that are different options that are out there for the Taurus, because it's been around a while, and it does have some aftermarket support as well, because it's been an extremely popular gun. But thought I'd get it out here, do a little bit of shooting with it, It feels a lot like the G3. The trigger is almost identical to the G3. You can see here, it goes all the way to the rear. A lot of take up before you even hit the wall. But it has a fairly clean brake. It really does. It's almost as good a brake as that GX4 that I've got, which has a great brake. There's very little creep to it at all. I mean, once you hit that wall and you keep pulling, it's a fairly clean brake, but it's really far to the back, which is a little bit awkward that there's that much distance. And of course, it's got the double strike capability, meaning that it's basically a double action, single action. But just as I said with the G3, really be nice if we had a decocker on this thing. Just for people that would be interested in that, they could offer that as an option. That way you could carry this in double action. Instead of having a safety, you could just have a decocker. Kind of like a Beretta G series. But anyway, let's get to doing a little bit of shooting here and see what we can do with this thing. We'll start out here on the red plates over here. See if I can hit anything with it. Looked like I was hitting a little bit low and left with it. Having a little bit of trouble seeing the sights today as well. But not as bad on these red ones. On that black target, it was really tough. The rear sights on this gun are just blacked out. And some people like that. I don't particularly like it, because I have a hard time seeing the rear sight to line up the front sight with, because I can't see the rear sight. And I guess I'm just used to having the dots on the back as well, having something on the back to help me out. But let's do a little shot. All right. I think I grazed him on the first one. There we go. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. It's a pretty good shooting gun. Yeah, I missed on the last round, wouldn't you know it. Let's just keep going here a little bit. Let's go out here to 35 one more time. Oh, I barely hit him, didn't I? Hit him on the other side. Overcompensated. I've been known to overcompensate sometimes. Let's go out here and see if I can hit this thing at 100. I think I heard it. That was a little low. I think I heard it again. Yeah. Can't see where they're going, it's making it kind of hard. I think I heard it. Heard it again that time. Can't hardly tell it's not doing a lot to that plate. That plate is awfully big and heavy, so it doesn't move a lot when a 9mm hits it. But I think I was hearing some feedback from it. A nice little bitty ping. So let's load up a couple more magazines here and see if we can do anything else with it. We'll see if I can hit that little plate at 80 yards. That's a little bit more of a challenge, so I'm not going to guarantee anything. But I shot it pretty good up here at 20, so what else you want? I'm not thinking that this gun here was really designed to be an 80-yard gun. It was designed to be a self-defense gun, so we're looking at, you know, definitely 10 yards or less, more than likely. Probably 7 yards or less. Of course, they say most self-defense encounters occur at 3 yards or less, I believe it is, but just the same, it's nice to know you've got a gun that can make a shot that long, you know, because if you can make a shot at 80 yards with it, you can sure make one at 7, so. All right, let's see if I can hit this one out here at 80. Didn't see that one either. We'll bring it down. I'm not even seeing it. We've had a lot of rain this week, so I may not be getting any feedback. I was getting a lot of dust before, but now that I may not. I think I just hit the chain or something. I can't even see where I'm going. I'm just wasting ammo on it. A little bit late in the day too. It's getting a little bit darker than I like to shoot in. Let's just come back over here. We'll shoot this last magazine over here. There we go. If I want to load up one more, maybe just one more magazine, because I'm actually starting to enjoy it. I'm starting to get the hang of it a little bit more. And it's just like with that G3, the trigger feels really weird when you dry fire it. It feels really strange at first, but after you start getting used to it, you don't really notice it so much anymore. But I'm somewhat impressed with the gun. I'm not as impressed with it as I am the GX4. I mean, that GX4 really stands out, but you know, it's a good gun. It's got good texture on the grip. It feels good in the hand. It's ergonomic. It's still fairly small for carry, but you can get a full grip on it. Of course, it's the base plate on the magazine that gives you that full grip. Without it, you'd be shooting with only 2 fingers on the grip, which shows you just how compact this actually is. But you know, with that base plate on there, it gives you a full grip, and it feels good in the hand. And I can see why so many people have gravitated toward this, because it's a good price, seems to be a good gun. We haven't had a single failure, and I've shot, I don't know, maybe 75 rounds so far, just guessing right now, and it's cycled perfectly. So let's just do one more magazine here. Yeah, I like this gun. I really do like this gun. I think I hit the cowboy. I heard it ring, but I didn't see a place where it hit. I'm gonna try this one out here at 100 yards again. I'm not gonna waste it on that 80-yard plate. No, a little short. Well, you know what that means. I gotta load up another couple rounds because I missed on the last one. I was really hoping I could hit that 100-yard target on my last round and just end the video on a good spot, but doesn't look like that's going to be the case. So I think that was short too. There we go. The Taurus G3C. Pretty nice gun. I don't know if it shoots better than the G3, but I like the size a little bit better than the G3. It's a little more practical, I think, for more applications, because it's fun out here at the range, but it would also make a pretty good carry gun. Whereas the G3, you know, home defense, it's fine. Out here on the range, it's fine, but it seemed a little big for carry. Now, it wasn't really that much bigger than a Glock 19, and that's about my max for what I would carry. You know, I do have a Glock 19 that I've been known to carry on occasion. But this would be much better for that. So I think this fills a lot more roles than the G3 does. So, you know, if you were looking for one gun and you were trying to decide between the G3 and the G3C, I think I'd go with the G3C. Especially if you're planning on upgrading to night sights. If you're planning on putting some different sights on the gun, the G3C is the way to go. If you're not planning on changing your sights, you might look at the G2C, because they're still out there on the market as well, and they'll give you the adjustable sights, and I think that's actually preferable to these if you're not going to change them. But anyway, guys, one thing before we go, make sure you check out in the description. We've got a place there for you to join the GOA at a discounted rate there. The GOA is doing a lot of work for us in our gun rights and on the national level as well as the state level. They're working with your state organizations as well on many occasions, such as the TFA, the Tennessee Firearms Association, which I'm a life member of and I support. And there's a link there to join the TFA as well. The GOA and the TFA work hand in hand. And in fact, on September the 3rd, the TFA is having their annual meeting in Lebanon, Tennessee. And Eric Pratt is going to be one of the guest speakers there. So you know, that shows you how well they work together, because both organizations are no compromise. They're not going to compromise our rights. They're going to fight tooth and nail to make sure we maintain all of our rights. So I support both those organizations, and I hope you'll consider doing the same, especially if you live in Tennessee. If you live in Tennessee, you need to be joining the Tennessee Firearms Association, because the more Tennesseans we can get involved, the more we can hopefully persuade some of these politicians to actually make some of the changes that need to be made, because the state of Tennessee is a state where there's a lot of people who love guns. I mean, you just look at all the different gun channels that are on YouTube where the people are from Tennessee. Tennessee is home to a lot of gun lovers, but you know, there are a lot of states that are ahead of us in gun rights. So if you live in Tennessee, join the TFA. If you want to support gun rights on the national level or within your state as well, then the GOA is there as well. Click those links, join up, donate, help out. Guys, I appreciate it. Y'all take care of yourselves. God bless you. We'll see you next time. Hey guys, Preacher 357 here. Back out here on the range finally. Got a gun here to show you, one I've been wanting to get for a while. The Taurus GX. I just say GX4. I've got GX4 on the brain. I love that gun so much I just want to review it again. The G2C, the G3C. Let me just start over.